What is up, lovers of budget cars and bikes? Welcome back to a pre-Christmas review of some beautiful tech products that have just been sent out. We are on the Blue Tech mat, so you know we're going to review something interesting. This is basically the newest in tech as it comes to dash cams, review cameras, that kind of stuff. It's been sent out by a company called Wolfbox. This is the G900 Pro. I'm not sure if they've sent out everything that they do, but it looks like it because they do two different packages. But as I said, this is the next generation, as it were, of dash cams. Please excuse this little line down here. We are in the midst of winter and it's unavoidable basically to be able to do a video without this sunshine kicking in. It's just one of those things. I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. Anyway, let's get this Wolfbox G900 Pro out of all this packaging, see exactly what we get, and then we'll do our usual put it through the test and I'll let you know what I think of it. Okay, well, I finally worked out a way to get rid of this little kind of line down here. I hope that's a little bit better. And here is what we get. From what I understand, you get the basic package, and then you get the kind of upgraded package, which includes the hardwire kit down there. Now, the hardwire kit is simply for the kind of parking monitoring system. Ergo, if you park somewhere where there might be a little buggery going on, as in you're worried that somebody might bump into your car, vandalize it, that kind of stuff, you can actually hardwire it in, and that monitor 24/7, which is a really nice little touch. But you can also just use, as is often the case with these, a cigarette lighter socket, pop that in there, and that will just do your basic dash cam kind of affair down there, which is what most of us would use, I'm assuming. That's obviously a far easier way of wiring this up. It literally would be 2 minutes. You clip the camera on, you plug it into your cigarette lighter, and you're ready to go, basically. But as I said, if you've got concerns about where you park, maybe at work, that kind of stuff, the hardwire kit is included in the kind of upgraded package, as it were, and it looks like that's what they've sent out. I will show you this as well. It's pretty self-explanatory, but this is the rear view camera here, this is the hardwire pack, and inside here we have got the star of the show. So let's get this unboxed and see exactly what we get. So as I said, guys, there is the star of the show. This is a 12-inch LCD screen down here. The biggest I think you can find when it comes to dash cams. That is going to give you all the view you're ever going to need outside of your car. Bearing in mind, obviously, this has a built-in dash cam inside the mirror, and then you would use the rear camera, which will basically show you what's going on. This is a split screen affair, or you can have back or front, whichever works for you, basically. We'll go through all of that when we get it into the car in a moment. I just wanted to show you what's inside this box. There is a myriad of gubbins going on in here as well. This looks to be the GPS sensor because you get this included as well. Effectively, that would mean that all your recordings are data logged, so there's never going to be any kind of question of where you were, what speed you were doing, that kind of stuff. If you were unfortunate enough to get in a little accident, then obviously if you've got this plugged in, it'll show up in the recording where you were, longitude, latitude, what speed you were going, and then of course you've got the camera footage to back all of that up if you needed to make an insurance claim. So that's kind of cool. There's the cigarette lighter kind of affair there we were just talking about. Effectively, that will just pop straight into your cigarette lighter or your 12-volt socket if you prefer that terminology, and then that fits into the top of the mirror itself. And that's pretty much all you need to do if you were going to go this way, as opposed to the hardwire kit we also discussed just now. Fitting could not be easier. There are, what is that bit of sunshine again there? There are the straps that you would use, basically. That's for your larger mirror. I'm assuming that's for a slightly smaller mirror, because obviously this will fit. This mirror here will fit onto your existing mirror. It just basically straps over the top of that. So you don't take your mirror down. There's no kind of technical knowledge needed for that. You literally just strap this new one over your old one. And as I said, these are for smaller mirrors, for little kind of town cars perhaps, and these are for larger cars, SUVs, vans, that kind of affair, I guess. There's also some cable management stuff they supply as well, just to make things a little bit tighter inside the car, because you're going to have to run the wires all the way to the back if you're going to use the rear view camera. So they've supplied some kind of cable management clips over here, and of course if you wanted to make this a nice kind of tidy install, you're going to run the wire from the top of the dash cam all the way round your roof liner, as it were, down the A-pillar and then into the cigarette lighter. Oops, so let's get rid of that. Some stickers by the looks of things if you really want to go down that road. Not my kind of thing, but nice to have, I guess. A cleaning cloth, as in a screen cleaning cloth. I'm sure we've all got one, and well, yeah, thank you very much. And there's the rear view camera just sat in there. This is a 2.5K. The front camera, obviously the mirror camera, being a 4K, so you're going to get 2.5K at the back and 4K at the front for constant high quality recording, which is really nice. We did the Pelsi review about a year ago now, and although that was advertised as a 4K, it was actually split between 2.5 at the front and the rear, I think, which was a little bit deceptive. And I think it's time for an upgrade, so I'm really glad this has come right now, just before Christmas. We'll have a little look at that as well before we connect it up. And then we've got our little pry tool. Always nice to have one of these, just as I was saying just now, just to basically hide the wires. You just clip in under the roof liner, the A-pillar trim, that kind of stuff. Nice to have one of these so you don't have to damage it with screwdrivers. And finally, some more stickers just over here. We've got our big user manual. I say big because it's larger than the quick start guide over here, but inside there they will give you all the information you might need if you get stuck. This is voice activated as well. There are certain commands you can use if you want to do it as a kind of a hands-free affair, which is quite nice. Even though it's a touch screen, there are actually 3 ways to operate this camera. You can download the app and then use that on your phone. You can use the voice commands, or you can use the touch screen, which is a nice little way of doing things. Whichever you prefer, you can do. I kind of like that. And obviously with the app you can tweak settings. You can tweak the settings on the camera itself as well, of course, or the mirror, as it were. We'll show you that in a second. But you can also download onto your phone from the camera itself, which is kind of nice if you want to do some editing there. And some people just prefer to use their phones in this day and age, I guess. There's I think it's 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz for Wi-Fi speeds as well, so downloading onto your phone from the camera directly is going to be super quick, which again is a nice little upgrade on the Pelsi, because that was a bit of a ball ache, to be fair, trying to get the footage off there onto the phone. Now no longer a problem with 5.8. Anyway, that is the unboxing, guys. We are going to pop out to the car now. I'm going to try to get this all fitted up. I won't show you the install necessarily. What I'm going to do is basically pop it in, because it literally fits in with these little straps. I'll run the wire as best I can, because this will be basically an install for demonstration purposes, if that makes sense. I'm just going to show you how it works inside the car. If I decide to keep it in the car and replace the Pelsi with this, which is a very big possibility, I have to say, depending on how it holds out, then I will obviously use the pry tool and get in under the roof lining and make it all pretty. I might even actually use the hardwire kit, to be fair. But I mean, if it's here, you may as well use it, hadn't you? But anyway, enough waffle. That's the unboxing. That's what you get with the Wolfbox G900 Pro. Let's get out to the car, get it fitted, and we'll do some footage. Okay guys, we are in the Nissan. Excuse these wires here. As I said, this is going to be just for demonstration purposes. The windscreen is still a little bit misty because it's very cold out here, but I wanted to show you it in place. Now, obviously with these wires here, what I would do is what I did with the Pelsi. I'd just go in up underneath there, down the A-pillar, and then bring it down and into the cigarette lighter just down here. For now, just to show you guys what it looks like in situ, there it is. That is your 12-inch LCD screen up there. There's a little bit of an oddity that I hadn't even seen on any other videos, and I discovered it purely by accident. You can move the camera, obviously, because it's just placed behind there. I'm hoping you've seen the first part of the video. But if you want to move it up and down, you just simply do that with the screen. And as you can see, the camera moves up and down. I kind of like that. Not one mention of in any other video I've seen on this that this does that. So obviously there's the bonnet of the car there, there's the dash, and yeah, you can just move it up and down as you wish. I kind of like that. There's your record button, your brightness up here, obviously it's set to full brightness. There's your modes, your camera or your video, as it were. Let's get that back. There's the voice controls there. You can turn that on and off. So basically within the settings, if you want it to record what's happening inside the car, if you're a taxi driver, for example, you can have that recording the conversation as well as the video, which is kind of cool. I haven't popped the GPS antenna in there because that's pretty self-explanatory. If you did, and over here I think it would show you your miles per hour and your GPS kind of location. That would just come up in this little corner here. I haven't plugged it in because I didn't really see the need to. I would never use it personally, so it's nice to have it, of course it is. And if I was doing longer journeys, for sure. If I was driving in bigger cities, absolutely. But you've got your date, your day up here, even though it says it's Saturday. I forgot basically to reset the clock, so we'd have to do that. I haven't done it because, as I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. As for clarity, yeah, there's a little bit of sun glare up there, but you know, that's to be expected. The sun is out, it's a winter sun, it's always a bit of a ball ache. Now, as for screens, we've got the rear view camera there. As you can see, that's 2.5K there, as in 2.5K picture quality, or you can have a split screen there, so you've got the front camera and the rear camera. The oddity for me is the split screen here shows you more of a distance, as it were, on the front facing camera than the normal one. As you can see, that seems a bit zoomed in to me, but if you use the split screen, it's far more zoomed out. I mean, if you look at that house up there, if I do that one up there, it's like much closer, isn't it? Not quite sure. I've been through the settings and I can't quite work out why that is, but yeah, the rear view camera is fine. If anything, it's actually looking a bit clearer because of the haze in the front windscreen. Anyway, let's go for a drive. What I'll probably do, guys, is I'll overlay some footage on maybe a time lapse, put a bit of music behind it, or I'll just narrate over it. But I just wanted to show you the picture quality while we drive along. So let's get into that and see exactly what the quality is like when we're driving. So there it was, guys. That is the Wolfbox G900 Pro. What do we think of it? I kind of like it. There's a certain amount of security, obviously, with having the hardwire kit installed. I do like that aspect. I like the fact that it's got a native 4K plus 2.5K rear camera as well. Sorry we didn't do too much of the rear view camera, guys. It fell off its mount. But as I said, it was a demonstration purposes kind of affair. There was a couple of times where the camera switched to the front view, which was a bit confusing because, as you can imagine, if you're driving forwards and you're looking in the rear view mirror and you're seeing the forward view, your brain kind of tells you that that car's coming up from behind you, if that makes sense. Your brain needs to adapt, basically. I didn't find a way to actually just turn it off and have it as a rear view mirror, if that makes sense. As in, not bother having the camera on for the rear view or the front view, or just using it as a mirror. So you've got to have the rear view camera installed, otherwise you just won't see what's going on behind you. It's not a biggie. I mean, you run the wire, it takes you probably 5 minutes to hide the wire away, rather. You can fit the rear view camera by the rear number plate on the bumper, inside the car, outside the car, wherever suits you, basically. You put that rear view camera. If you connect up the red cable to the reversing light bulb on your car as well, then when you go into reverse, the camera will automatically act as a reversing camera, which I think is kind of nice as well. You don't have to, but you can do. It's just another added bonus benefit, as it were. But generally speaking, this is a huge upgrade to the Pelsi that we had about a year ago. It's voice controlled, it's got loop recording, voice activation, voice commands, as it were. 4K plus 2.5K, as I say. A stuff load of settings you can play about with as well. It's got GPS tracking, which, as I said previously, will basically be invaluable if you ever had to, God forbid, make an insurance claim. It'll show you exact speed, where you were, and obviously the video footage. I think that's just incredibly good. And as I said, the security of knowing that you've got 24-hour monitoring as well if you do it as a hardwired version. You might have to stick a bigger memory card in there for the loop recording, as it were. But yeah, I think that's well worth the money. I mean, these aren't cheap. These are around about 250 quid with the discount codes. The link will be obviously in the description with any kind of affiliate links and discount codes. But you get what you pay for, guys. That's the security of having it. I think if you told your insurance company you had one of these, especially with the hardwire kit for monitoring parking, you might even get a bit of discount on your car insurance as well. Brilliant for vans that don't necessarily have a rear view mirror, of course, because I remember we did a van project before that obviously had just the metal doors at the back, so you don't have any way of you seeing what's behind you unless you've got a rear view camera. So this, obviously, brilliant, perfect for that kind of environment. I'm actually going to go to the trouble of fitting this in as a hardwire kit. We might do a follow-up kind of video on that, just to show you how it looks all nice and tidy, maybe throw some more footage in. But for now, the Wolfbox G900 Pro, we've done it. We've given you our thoughts on it. Should you buy one? If you've got the money and you want the security, you've got a nice car that you want to keep monitored at all times, parking, driving, that kind of stuff, GPS location and speed is important to you, then yes, as I said, it's not cheap at 250 quid. A decent dash cam fitted is probably what, 100, 150 quid? This goes way beyond that. So you're paying a bit more, but you're getting a lot more. But from Budget Cars and Bikes, that is it. That's the Wolfbox G900 Pro. Done, tested and sorted. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Comments below, please, if you have any, and give the video a like, a share, a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Really appreciate that. And we'll catch up in a couple of weeks. All right, guys, take care. Again, thanks for watching.